Welcome back, everyone. I'm so happy to see you again. Today, we are starting a brand new unit. It's going to be about space, and we're going to use different books and different articles in this unit to try to learn more about the main idea and key details. These are topics that I know that you have talked about in second grade and first grade, maybe even kindergarten, but we're going to learn a little more about them in the next few weeks. So before we get started, make sure you have a paper and pencil, something to take notes on in case you need to write anything down, and let's get going. So our question for this unit for social studies is going to be, how does where I live influence how I live? For instance, if you lived in the jungle versus the desert, you might eat different food, you might build a different type of house. So we're going to think about that while we're learning not only about space, but about Earth, the planet that we live on. But today, for our objective, we're going to focus on, I can identify key details that support the main idea using pictures. So we're going to look for key details that help prove our main idea, and we're going to use pictures to do it. So let's go over some vocabulary. For today, the first word we want to talk about is main idea. The main idea is kind of like the big overarching thing that the story is mostly about. So almost everything that you're going to read is going to come back to this main idea in the book because it is the most important point about what you read. And then the second part is the key details. The key details are just like the important information that's about the main idea. Usually the key details are going to answer information like who, what, where, when, and why. So we're going to use some pictures to try to get the main idea. Everything that we talk about doesn't necessarily have a right answer. If you can say how these details support your main idea, you might come up with more than one main idea for the set of pictures. For instance, let's look. I see leaves. I see an apple. I see more leaves. I see an apple tree. I see a school bus. And I see a pumpkin. So because there's apples and pumpkins and school and leaves, I'm kind of thinking that this is about going back to school, like in the fall. So maybe it's about the fall season. However, I could interpret this a different way. I could say, oh, I'm seeing leaves and a tree. I'm seeing a pumpkin and apples and a school bus. So maybe it's about the school bus taking us on a field trip to like a farm, like an apple orchard that has pumpkins and stuff at it. Either of those would work, as long as you can tell me how these details support a main idea. What you actually say for the main idea doesn't matter. You just have to be able to convince me that you're right. So let's try another one. On this one, I see like the striped jersey. I see this one looks kind of like a referee. I see this net. I see a whistle. I see a soccer ball, and I see like cleats. So because there's a referee and there's a net and there's a whistle with the soccer ball, I'm thinking this is the main idea of these pictures is probably playing soccer or like a soccer game, because especially a soccer game, because just playing soccer doesn't always have a referee and a whistle. But if you have a referee and a whistle, you're probably playing like an official soccer game. So now for your assignment today, it's going to be your turn. You saw how I took pictures and put them around the outside of the circle, and then in the inside, I would write the main idea. For your assignment today, you are going to put pictures that are all about one main idea in the outside circle, and then you are going to write the main idea in the inside circle. So as a review, today we are talking about identifying the key details. So those are like who, what, where, when, why, that support your main idea. And we are doing that by using pictures. We are also going to be thinking about during this unit, how does where I live influence how I live? So until I see you next time, be safe and keep learning.